We'll just wait a little bit. Just wait for a little bit just to let people tune in.
Okay.
Okay. All right. See everybody tune in. Oh, let me get my okay. All right. Okay. All right. So how's everything? Everything's going on your end?
Well, I'm fighting a legal battle here with this Tommy Sotomayor. So that's a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
work.
Yeah, I understand. I definitely understand. Definitely understand. All right. Let's we were just we oh okay. We're just people gonna eventually gonna tune in. All right. Welcome to the this is your brother, your RBG brother from the RBG Nation. And I got a beautiful, lovely guest on my show. And I'm gonna have her introduce herself to the world.
All right. Well, thank you. First of all, I want to tell you thank you very much for having me on. I really do appreciate it. And thank you to the people for listening. Well, my name is Rashida Strober, and I am the world's first and only dark skinned activist. And by that, I mean that I am the first activist to be an activist for dark skin in terms of advocating against the discrimination that dark skinned people face. And
Mm,
so some people would call it colorism, but I don't call it colorism. I actually created a word for it. I call it darkism. And darkism simply means the discrimination of dark skinned people. And I've also wrote a book called Darkism, 25 Ways Dark Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. So I started dark skin activism in 1998. And people say, well, why did you start dark skin activism? It's very simple. When I was growing up as a little girl, I was always called black and ugly and
mm,
all kinds of derogatory names and treated really bad for being dark skinned and nappy headed. So
mm,
the nappy head and the dark skin went hand in hand. And this went on, I call it dark skin mental abuse. Um, this went on in my family, at school, um, in the society at large, but mainly in school and in my family. Now, sometimes it was very covert in my family, but in school it was just like, it was the thing. If you was a dark skinned person, particularly a dark skinned girl, and your hair was nappy, you are the butt of jokes. I've been called every name in the book for being dark skinned, including Blackie, Tar Baby, Spot,
mm.
Monkey, Burnt, any name you could think of, Crispy, any name you could think of that disparages dark skin. So
Wow.
in my family, and I'm not saying this because I want people's sympathy. I'm telling you this because this is what it. You know how something just is like one plus one is two. I'm just telling you this because this is it's what happened. So in my family, there's my cousin. I'm not gonna say no name, but and other people, they were always treated better for being lighter skinned with better with I don't want to say a better, but to when I say better, I'm speaking about seeing it from the eyes of the other people. They thought that the hair was better and the skin was better. So I would get treated like less than, trash, terrible, while conversely, the non-dark skinned, non-nappy haired persons would get treated better and get rewarded. And
Mm,
that turned me into sort of an introvert. Well, I want to say that I was always an introvert, quiet in nature. And people think I'm so vocal now, but I wasn't super vocal like this growing up until you really had to push me. And I say, okay, enough is enough. And I started to get like that during my middle school years where I was attacked constantly for being too black and having nappy hair. So in middle school is really where I learned how to fight for myself and stand up for myself because it was just enough was just enough. So I always had a burning question. Why am I being treated differently? That was always in my head. Even as a kid, I could not articulate uh, necessarily, but that was always in my head. I wanted to understand, why is this going on? And then that question never left my head. So as I grew into an adult, I noticed darkism as an adult in many instances, in the way that I was treated by men, in the way that I was treated down here in the South by non-Black people, just so many different instances of what I call darkism. And what I decided to do is, in 1998, I was given a chance to speak at St. Pete College.
Mm.
And at that time, I was an undergraduate student. I eventually ended up getting a bachelor's degree in history from the University of South Florida, and a master's degree in political science, also from the University of South Florida.
Mhm.
But at that time, I was an undergraduate student, and I got a chance to speak during Black History, aka Harambe. And I decided to talk about this dark skin thing. And
Mm.
at this time, I want to be clear, nobody was talking about this. We got people talking about colorism now, who have, a lot of these people have ripped me off and stolen from me, but nobody was talking about this. They did not care. Black people did not care. I mean, you had people like to mention School Days. Shout out to Spike Lee. But when I say talking about it, I'm speaking about as a platform, as a concrete, methodical platform. It didn't exist. So I decided to create it because I didn't see anybody else doing it. And St. Pete College, I got a chance to speak, and I decided to talk about dark skin discrimination. I spoke about Alec Weck at the time, a Sudanese model, very dark skin, and the way that I saw Black people negatively disparaging her dark skin and her hair. And I just opened the floodgates to this movement that was never heard of before, the first platform in history to advocate against darkism and colorism. And I called it dark skin activism. And it does
Mm.
not mean an activist that's dark skinned. Has nothing to do with that. It means that I advocate against darkism and colorism. And I'm the first person to actually do this, and not to just talk about it. There's a difference. Not to talk about it to your family or in passing. No, the movement consists of a creative brand as well, because I felt like, okay, I can deal with people on an intellectual level, but I can do something that in college circles you call edutainment, where you're educating and entertaining people at the same time. So what I did was decided to combine my artistry with the educational side of this thing called darkism. And I became the first actor, actress rather. People will say actor. I like to use the word actor for, but actress, playwright, author, um, social, political commentator to focus my work only on dark skin. Nobody's done that before me. There's people that people like to give credit to because I've worked so hard to make this dark skin thing an issue, but they're now giving credit to celebrities, but they didn't create
Mhm.
this.
Right.
And I want to
Mhm.
say that unapologetically. That's the truth. They did
Sure.
not. What they're doing is, after I put in all the hard work, these famous people, they can watch people online and they're saying, oh, let me jump in on this. I'm dark skinned. But these people never cared to actually create a movement. They had all the money, the platform, the notoriety. They didn't create it until after I took all the hits. So anyway, this was in 1998, and I decided that I was going to write books, plays, and do social commentary, which I call Darkism Talks. And I've been doing this for years before social media existed. Now, the only other person that I will ever in my life give credit to is Cola Booth. That's
Mm.
it. The only other person that deserves recognition and credit, because she was doing it before there was social media, and she's sincere. And so what I decided to do is, just continue to write my books, continue to do my plays. And I work very, very hard to get recognition for it, because I realized if I could go and do my darkism talks and do the plays, that people would be like receptive to it. And sure enough, I started going to libraries, anywhere where anybody would have me, churches, schools, community organizations, the Urban League. I was all over the place giving my darkism talks and doing my plays. And I spent years doing this before anybody talked about dark skin. So I wrote a play called A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, which was actually the sequel to another play I wrote called A Dark Skinned Girl's Triumph, the Rashida Strober story. And I just kept producing my show. I've been producing my shows for years. And afterwards, I always do what I call a darkism talk. And then I just kept writing my books. So as a result, I've written more books on dark skin than any human being in the world. Those books include Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against, A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, which is actually a book and a play, Token Dark Girl, the It Dark Girl of the Moment, A Dark-Skinned Girl's Triumph, the Rashida Strober Story, How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet, and I'm working on a book to kind of put all of this into a neat framework for people so that if I drop dead, God forbid, people will understand why and how the whole entire topic of dark skin and colorism got to the fore. People aren't giving me credit, but this is really how it happened. Because none of these people on reality TV shows, no celebrities, none of them were talking about dark skin or colorism. I started it all first. These are all facts. So I'm working on completing my book called Inventing Dark Skin Activism, the Rashida Strober Story, so I can spell it out in detail. They say the devil is in the details, and it's very true. So that's where I'm at right now. I call it phases of dark skin activism. I've been through a lot of phases where I've received death threats. It's been a lot of trials and tribulations. Well, I'm still receiving death threats, but there's so many trials and tribulations. So the real story of the dark skin activists, I don't think the people that's copying me, they couldn't even handle, a third of what I've been through. They couldn't, they would not be able to take it because I have stood up time and again in the face of everything imaginable happening to me, and I'm still here doing my dark skin activist work, and I'm not going to stop. So that's it in a nutshell.
Wow. Okay. Like, my question is, what all this the hate? Where do you think all that hate comes from? Do you think it came from slavery, all that? Because I want to say this though. I want to say this. As African people, we always, how you said, put dark skinned our women, especially black men. We always put our dark skinned women on a pedestal. Like, we never had a problem with that, right? We never had a problem with that through Africa, right? We always thought that the dark skinned woman was a standard of beauty. That was our way of beauty of our women when it comes down to dark skin, especially dark skinned people. Period. That was our standard of beauty. Black is beautiful. They always say that. When you look at the Greek and Rome, right? Their standard of beauty is the blonde, blue-eyed, pale skin, and they kept that. Do you think that the anti-dark skin was rooted from slavery and promoting whiteness as the standard of beauty? Like, where do you think all this darkism come from?
Well, that's an excellent question. And I've always made this argument with people that I said, if you look at Africa, I've said this more times than I can count. If you examine Africa before any type of invaders came in, you just said exactly the argument that I have been presenting to people, but they refuse to acknowledge it because they're in denial or they're intellectually lazy and won't do the research. But I have said time and again, if you take the time to research Africa and the relationship between black men and black women before any type of invader came onto the continent, you will find, my hypothesis is that you are going to find that there was no darkism or colorism.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And I've said to these people, but they'll gloss over it because they don't want to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
I said, prove my argument wrong. Now, in order to prove my argument wrong, what a person is going to have to do is engage in some rigorous research. You're going to have to prove this wrong. So my whole argument for dark skin activism as a result stands on the fact that it is the natural position of the black man and the black woman, in particular the dark-skinned black woman, to be together, because no one has been able to prove to me that darkism or colorism existed in Africa prior to any invaders coming in.
Exactly.
Nobody has been able to prove that to me. And I'm waiting to this day. I'm a fact-based person. I like facts. If you're going to come at me and attack me, it's fine. But please present some facts. And don't tank the facts, because you can't do that. Don't try to don't try to skew it towards your direction. No, just give me the straight raw facts. And I guarantee that you are not going to find evidence of darkism or colorism in Africa, in Black Africa, prior to any type of invaders coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So when after invaders started to come in, you got, you had a series of invaders, the Romans, Europeans, the Arabs, we go on and on.
Right.
That is when you started to see the emergence of darkism and colorism. Because one of the tactics of war is to marry or get with the women, take over the women. And that's what, for example, the Portuguese did that. So when the offspring, the mulatto offspring, were used as a buffer race in order to control the darker people. We see that if we look at Haiti, for example. We see that when we look at America with W.E.B. Du Bois speaking on the talented 10th. Well, he was referring to lighter skinned Black people. It's always been that structure since the emergence of the invaders coming into Africa and disrupting the natural way. And so, what dark skinned activism's aim is to restore that order, the natural order. Because what we are experiencing right now in terms of darkism and colorism is not a natural, it's dysfunctional.
Yeah,
That's what it is. People are in denial. They want to cloak it in preference. They want to cloak it in, well, you love who you love. They want to cloak it in all of these things except for calling it what it is. We get colorism and darkism from the mass murder and exploitation of dark-skinned people. These are all historical facts. I don't listen. People have to level up to my intellectual level of understanding. I don't have to prove anything because the facts of history is already there. So prove me wrong. No one's been able to do it. All people can do is get upset and angry and want to attack me based on things that have nothing to do with what is the factualness of what I'm saying. You're attacking me as a human being. You're attacking my character. So you talked about Tommy Sotomayor. So this is what he's done. He's attacked my character. Instead of saying, yes, Rashida, you're right. Darkism is a symptom of the dysfunction of the slavery and oppression of the dark people throughout the world. And it is of the mass murder of Indians, of the mass incarceration of dark-skinned people. Instead of saying that, he becomes a part of the oppressor. So what he did, he called CPS on me because of an illegally obtained audio where I was disciplining my child, which in Africa, people talk about CPS. Honey, there's no CPS in Africa. That is a dysfunction of the American system in which we live. You go over there, if I talk to my child that way in Africa, let me tell you, child, please, it don't work like that. We are divorced from our African, and that's why, let me say this for the record, I make no bones about the way I talk to and discipline my child for nobody, because y'all are the ones that are dysfunctional, not me. I'm not dysfunctional. Okay. I understand this in the bigger scheme of things. I can look back and I can look at the situation and say, we are in a place that is not natural to us because our ancestors were enslaved and murdered and forced to work for free and psychologically brutalized. And as a result, they gave birth to people that are psychologically brutalized and manipulated. And now we are immersed into a system of laws that work against us. And now some of us will use those same laws to work against your own dark-skinned brother or sister. It's dysfunctional. It's disease. It's cancerous. That's what we deal with. And until we say, okay, this is what it is. It's the reality of what it is. We will not be able to repair.
Mm-hmm. And you have an excellent point, because during slavery, they always put the darker people in the fields while the lighter ones stayed in the house. They had a little good, and they always, so society always made it seem like if you're lighter, your life is going to be easy. We didn't talk about, what about the paper bag test they used to do on us. That's how, if you were dark, you couldn't, they would tell you, well, if you needed a job, you had to send a picture in to see how you look. If you was lighter, you would have got the job. This is what you're telling people is that this is what you call an institution. This is systematically institutionalized. This is what we're in. And so ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. You know what I'm saying? So darkism is institutional. And that's what you're telling the people, because dark, like in certain islands, like in Jamaica, whatever, how they bleaching their skin and all that sort of stuff. Look what Michael Jackson, he was bleaching his skin. Beyonce, all these people bleaching their skin because they think dark is ugly. And this is something that we've been taught from young, from birth. Or don't marry that guy, he's too dark. And I remember in high school, and I didn't understand this. And I give you a quick story when what happened to me, because my mother got on me because I fell into that. Which it was stupid. And I was young, I was stupid, I was naive. I had a friend, he was from Jamaica, nice looking guy. He's a nice looking guy. And this sister, she was like, oh man, his name was Orlando. He said, oh man. He said, oh, he's too dark. So I kept asking, I said, what's wrong with his skin? I didn't understand, like, because I don't look at black people like that. I never looked at people like, because I have dark skin in my family. Oh, he's just too black. He's just too black. And I'm like, but there's nothing wrong with him. He's, And one time I was joking. He was chilling in my house, and we was joking, and I had said, you black, blah blah blah. And my mother heard it. She heard it. Boy, my mother got on me and she yelled, cursed. She said, don't you ever say that. And because you got dark skin in your family. And that right there, it just cleared. And I said, oh, what the hell because I fell into that. I was only 15, 16 years old.
Right.
Because I kept hearing it so much, you get conditioned. And I learned ever since then. I said I would never do that again. I'll never do that again. And my wife, she's dark skinned, and I have a dark skinned wife. So I never. And
a blessing from God.
Huh? Say it again.
Oh, it's a blessing from God.
Yeah, it is. And I said I said, yo, if anybody says something, I'm swear to God, it's just gonna pop off. And I teach my kids now, hey, don't ever, I don't want to hear that coming out your mouth. But I'm teaching about the history or whatever. Right. So it's very important that we gotta uncondition ourselves. And I remember Marcus Garvey said he talked about a pure race. He said, no, we gotta get back of loving ourselves and connecting to bring back that dark, that beautiful, because he's always talking about black is beautiful and dark is beautiful. He's always preaching that. So you absolutely on point, and I appreciate that, because we need that. We do need that. We do need that. Because that's our standard of beauty. Oh, she got oh. Rashida?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh. Okay. You just but I would say that's our standard of beauty, and we gotta promote that. We gotta have beautiful dark skin models, which I do see. I see beautiful, and I always promote that on my Facebook page and all that. The dark skinned woman, I always promote that. The queens from Africa, dark skin, I always promote that as much as possible. So I think you're well needed in within our people. We need that, and it will inspire other people to promote that. It's definitely well needed. I want to, and by the way, I want to say about Tommy Sotomayor real quick, which I'm a little surprised. I was a little surprised at Tommy because Tommy Sotomayor is a victim of Darkism. He was always saying that how he used to be teased, how they used to be called crispy and all that. He complained because when Tariq Nasheed was calling him crispy, he would tell his story saying, you know, how kids would make fun of him. And now he decided to say, you know what? I'm going to go to ride with white folks. This is the same man who's friends with David Duke. And you know who David Duke is?
No, right? I don't.
Oh, David Duke. Oh, look at
No, I don't know who that is.
Oh, David Duke is part of the KKK.
Oh, no.
Yes. You go just type in David Duke and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's friends with David Duke, which I was very surprised too. So he fell into that hatred. So I was very surprised how, you know, how he was making fun of you and all that stuff and the way he's doing to you. And he was trying to argue with you, which I don't like, because you was trying to show that, hey, you know, me and you and I, we're dark skinned and we trying to fight this together. And he was trying to go against the grain. But you got to understand this, Rashida. He destroyed 2 black women, 2 dark-skinned black women. He destroyed their lives by getting them pregnant. He didn't marry neither one of them. And then on top of that, he winded down some white girl who was a lesbian. He was giving all his money to her. Every Monday he was getting donations. He was taking her to the finest restaurants. And he was telling, oh, Babin? You're chopping up.
I'm here. You hear me?
You're breaking up. You're breaking up a little bit.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you now. I hear you now. Yes.
Okay.
You was gonna say something?
Okay, I'm here. I'm listening to. I'm listening to what you're saying.
Okay. So yeah, he had a white woman named Lana, and he used the donation money from his father's America, which is, to me, was a flop. He did the documentary. It took like almost 20 years to do, but he was take the donation money and winded down this white woman, but he never destroyed her life. But the 2 dark-skinned women that he had them children by that he went to jail for, that he wasn't taking care of the kids, that they had to take him to court, he ruined their lives.
Right.
My thing is like this: if you don't like black women, why would you sleep with them and get them pregnant?
Right.
That's how I'm looking at you. But you ruined their lives when they could have met a brother who really wanted to be with them, but you decide to lie to them, get them pregnant, and then you're gonna bounce. And then ever since one of the sisters that took him to court, that's when this "Oh, I hate black women" campaign came on. That's how he became famous. This is how he became famous. So when I saw you on the show, I was like, oh shoot, she on the show, like, but you didn't create that atmosphere like you was trying to debate with him. You was trying to say, look, we both dark skinned, because I already know what he said, because he was a victim, and his mother used to, used to call him names too. So that's why
right.
he was the way. But he just said hell with it. You know what I mean? So I don't know, and which is kind of sad that he's doing this to you, and you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. So I want to just address that real quick, because that's just the background of the Tommy Sotomayor situation. I want to talk about, because I want to show 2 videos. I want to hear your thoughts about the protests. And I thought what you did was very.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes. You hear me?
Okay. What? Let me just explain to you before what happened is, for some reason, whenever someone calls, somebody just called my phone. Whenever someone calls my phone, it seems to mess with my volume, and I'm having a hard time hearing. But as long as you can hear me, it's okay because I'm like straining now to hear you because someone just called me.
Oh,
It's
okay.
weird. But
Okay.
I'm gonna answer this and then I might have to go out and come back in because
Okay.
I'm having a hard time hearing you now because somebody just called me.
Okay. No problem.
But to answer your question, at this point I've lost hope with Tommy Sotomayor. He is a cyber bully. He issues cyber terrorism, cyber threats. I have no more empathy for him because he is terrorizing Black women online, and YouTube is allowing him to get away with it. And as far as I'm concerned, if anybody cares about Black women, they need to call the FBI, report him to YouTube, and keep doing it. And it's bigger than me.
Right.
Yes, I'm going through. Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'm in the middle of an interview. I can't talk to her right now, but I'll call back. Um, Here's the thing. It's me. It's gonna be another victim.
Right.
He has a lot of victims.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's. I watched him on a live on forgot the guy's channel, but he was doing a party, a Kanika Jenkins death party. I saw this with my own eyes.
Mm.
Okay, where he had this woman's dead body laid out in his live. He had a picture of her dead body.
Wow.
Parts of her body was exposed, and she was dead. And he was playing all this music, laughing and celebrating this.
Mm.
And I saw that today because someone had sent me this person's YouTube channel, Covert Radio, and the video is called "Will Detectives Look into Tommy Sotomayor as a Contributing Factor?" Now, that the main crux of that video is about a woman named Sansaray, but throughout the video, the person showed a live that Tommy did with Kanika Jenkins' body laid out. And I'm like, wait a minute. What
Wow.
kind of person takes a dead person's body, puts the picture up, and throws this death party and encourages people to pay him to keep the party going? That is psycho. So he's so far gone. I have no sympathy for this man anymore.
Yeah.
Because of the lives. You talk about destroying the lives. Well, he tried to destroy my life, but he's not going to win by calling CPS on me because I disciplined my child. And he was able to obtain an illegally recorded video that someone recorded of everything that was going on in my home after I ended a YouTube live stream that was powered by StreamYard. I ended the live stream, but somehow somebody was able to record me after I ended the live stream. So I want to tell you, when you finish with this StreamYard, make sure you close out everything because there's hackers out there and they will hack you. They did it to me. After they obtained this video, I'm on here disciplining my child, talking to Lauren. I said what I said, and I don't make no apologies for none of it. I don't. No one's gonna tell me how to discipline my child. Nope.
Exactly.
Don't work like that with me.
Exactly. I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
He took the video and just trying to destroy my life. But I found out I'm not the first one. He called CPS on me. He's done this to other people.
Wow. Wow. And
are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. You hear me?
Just went out there for a second.
You hear me? Okay. You want to go out and come back in?
Yeah, because I can't even hear you at all. Once somebody calls my phone, all my volume is gone. It's weird.
Right. Yeah, go out and come back in.
Okay, all righty.
Yeah, that's deep. I mean, it's really bad. It's really bad. How people can go, black people can go so far on each other like that. That has to stop. That really has to stop. Knowing that we are in a ancient war, like my brother Bakari would say, we are in an ancient war with these so-called white folks. So I don't understand. I don't, but this is the same dude, Tommy Sotomayor, who's friends with David Duke. And then when something happens to Tommy Sotomayor, then what's going to happen? So if a cop put his knee on Tommy Sotomayor's neck, should we rally for Tommy Sotomayor? Should we be like, oh my God, we got to rally for Tommy Sotomayor, rest in peace? Do we have to do that? I'm not doing it. We got to do background checks on these people. We got to do background checks. So I'm just going to wait for my sister to come back in. All right. Sir, so let's see something. Yeah. I want to, let's see if she come back in real quick. Okay. Look at these comments. Okay. This is crazy. Now. Wow. That's right here. So much coming up here. All right. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like we have to get in our natural state. We definitely have to get in our natural state when it comes down to our people. It's unfortunate where we have to bang on each other because of our skin complexion, which is ridiculous. Okay, let's wait for her to come back in. See something. Okay. Okay, I gotta save states. I want to be. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Brother Bakari. It's just weird to me how this guy don't even get banned. You know, Tommy Sotomayor don't even get banned. I mean, the way he did, Ray, he had put up a calling her toasty and put the burnt toast on his show like that. And this guy supposed to be a victim of darkism. How he was crying, how he used to be teased when he was young, and people, you know, I mean, people give him money, but you know, it's just sad that he makes money when you know you know what's the house of white society is telling you, hey, you know, we could pay you if you go up against your own people. You know, don't bring no solutions, ain't trying to help. But then this asshole decided to bring this try to make this beautiful documentary called Fatherless America, which is to me was a flop. I'm not gonna, you know, I didn't even go see it. But you can't talk against your people. And just like he said this is the reason why he don't date and he don't like black women. You know, so I think that's the problem. I think that's the issue. But he is a victim of darkism. You know. Oh, here go my girl's back. Okay, here we go.
I'm back. I apologize for that, and I can hear you now. I hope nobody calls me back, because that takes my volume completely out.
I hear that. Okay.
But yeah, you know, Tommy Sotomayor, it's just a lost cause to me. And at this point, my whole goal with him is to join in solidarity with anybody that wants to get him to stop terrorizing black women. I heard him on his channel say the other night, and this is when I knew it was something wrong with this man for real, like it's starting to hit home. He said, I will pay the cops to kill Nigger. That's what he said out of his own mouth. And I was like, what? I mean, I understand people not liking their own race. I get that. Okay, I get it. That's your right if that's what you want to do. But when you cross the line to wanting people, you're a psychopath. Right. That's going overboard. You don't have a right to determine somebody's life. That's too much. You got to be stopped. And what he's doing is he's spreading that hate to his followers, and they begin harassing, stalking, and terrorizing black women. And that's the problem. It's got to stop, because I think that he's personally a ticking time bomb. That's just my own take on it.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but he got punched in the face here in New York. Did you know about that?
I heard that. I didn't see it, but I have heard
that. I think somebody have it. I mean, if you look, as a matter of fact, I know somebody's recorded. If you go to my channel, you go to my channel, you'll see it, because I talk about Tommy thoroughly, and you'll see how he went to basically it's an RBG function, you know, and where you know you have black people rocking their RBG colors and all that stuff. And you had everybody, all the black people came, but he wasn't welcome. He came there on somebody else's strength. He shouldn't even been there. And what happened was he had a bodyguard / cameraman, and one of the dude came up to him and they showed the video of him cursing out the black woman because he had that car accident and cursing her out, threatening her with a gun and all that. So he showed her. He said, "Look, what's up with this?" Oh, well, he tried to explain himself, blah blah blah. So he said, "Look, man, we don't play that over here." So Tommy Sotomayor walked away from like, "Oh, well, we don't need to talk then." So the dude snuffed him like, bam, right? And he was like,
wow.
Yeah. And his brother was like, "Yo, get out of here." He told Tommy, "Get out of here. You and your man get the hell out of here, or it's gonna be, we're gonna pop off." So the bodyguard got scared. Like, "Okay, we leaving. We leaving." So
wow.
People was waiting for him downstairs. They was gonna do him. Because here in New York, we don't play that. We don't play that. You don't tax sisters and think you're gonna get away with it. Right? So, and he's not even from New York. Like, I don't know what he thought he was gonna blend in. No. So he called the police. He was like, "Oh, they're about to come get me. Could you send some police over here?" Right? Because he was,
wow.
he was shook. He was shook. And
well, he's not shook enough though, because he's still doing the same thing.
He's in Arizona somewhere in an isolated area. He can't even go nowhere. It's a video where he tried to go to LA, try to get on Vlad TV, and guess who showed up? Tariq Nasheed checked him. He said, "Yo, what's up with all the killing? What's up with that?" "Oh, well, he said, "Dude, I'm right here. What's up? You in my city. What's up?" Tommy, he knows not to go to people's cities. That's what he does. So he's safe where he at. Right. And that's where he could talk his stuff. So that's what I'm saying. He knows, because he tried to do it. And he got checked. So he's very careful. So yeah, he's gonna talk his stuff. He's isolated. And yeah, so to me, I figure if you're gonna talk all that big bag stuff, come to the city, because he's not gonna be so lucky next time. We don't play that.
And see, that's the thing. I don't condone violence against anyone. I really don't. But what I do condone is self-defense, though. I do believe in self-defense. And I saw that video that you're talking about. I saw that video. And he just wrong. He just, it's just this man. I don't understand. Only thing I can say is this is like some psychotic behavior, because it's bigger than just entertainment. This you celebrated the death of a black woman. You putting her body out, like it's some psychosis here.
And it's all self-hate. It's self-hate, because sometimes people have been so immune to self-hate, they just hate themselves. And I think Tommy, because he's a victim of Darkism, he's lashing out back on black people.
And that's true. I will completely 100% agree with that. But if, like, again, I don't have a problem with people with freedom of speech. My problem is death threats. You are trying to get people killed. From everything I'm seeing, that this man, I myself have received death threats. That's going too far. That is the problem. Yes. You can't threaten to kill a group of people because you don't like them. In everything that I have been through, I have never came online or told anybody that I want somebody to be killed. I've never in my life done that. Okay, now this man called CPS on me because I threatened to beat my child. He called CPS. Now, again, I ain't apologize. That's a beating. I didn't even beat the girl. Because I'm always, children, they do stuff they ain't supposed to do, and a parent has a right to discipline them. And I came in there and I told her I was gonna beat her behind, and I did cuss. Because sometimes that's how I talk. But my daughter will tell you I haven't beat her in probably about 3 years. She will tell you this. He called CPS, told them people I beat her up. I was like, what? Hold on. Even on the video, the illegally obtained video he got, I said, yeah, that's what we're working on now. I said on the video that I should beat her behind, but I said I ain't gonna do that. I went and sat on the couch. I ain't gonna do that. You hear me saying that I ain't gonna do that. Why? Because I don't beat her. I'm a ticket seller. I grew up getting beat down by my mom. She didn't care about nobody calling CPS. She'll say, call them. You go to their number and I'm going to jail.
My mother used to say that too. Yeah.
Care.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My mother used to say that too.
So, hold on one second.
But the funny thing about it,
Tommy, one second. Somebody's knocking at my door.
And the funny thing is, Tommy went through the same situation. He went through the same situation, which is weird.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, please.
Go ahead.
I'm answering the door. Give me 1 second.
No problem. Go ahead. Yeah, so Tommy, which is kind of weird. Tommy went through the same situation. He went through the same people threatening him because he was mad at people. He couldn't speak his opinion, and he said, "Well, do I have to get threats because of my opinions?" And people called the authorities on how he treated his child. He went through the same thing, and he's doing it back. And I'm a little surprised at that. Very surprised. But the dude definitely need help. I don't know, but like I said, I tell people don't support him. Don't support his documentary, but anybody that follow him and support him, to me they dangerous. They dangerous. This is and I always try to tell my people that we are in a civil war. We are in a civil war because you got even our own people working for the enemy. And that's not cool. That's definitely not cool. So I just had to, we got to, definitely clear that up. So let me see who's online. Okay. All right. Yeah, but it's really sad.
Are you hear me?
Hello? Yeah, I can hear
me.
Yes.
Okay, I was trying to let you know that the police was at my door. We talking about Tommy Sotomayor. Again, I got more death threats today, and the police that was the police right there at my door. 2 came. Oh
my God.
I was trying to, I guess you didn't hear me talking. Yeah, they was just at my door. I'm catching like a lot of hell right now because I've gotten death threats because these people are being sent by Tommy Sotomayor because he has these defamatory, stalking, harassing videos of me. So I've been getting a lot of phone calls where this one person told me, I'm coming to your house. I got the text message. So I called the police. I called the FBI, and the police. Oh my God. They came to find out if I'm okay, because now I have to get a a permit to carry or whatever concealed weapon. Right. I went and talked to the folks about that because police about Tommy live. It's not a game.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna stand up to this man. So yeah, like I was telling you, he tried to get my daughter taken away from me because of that video where I told my daughter the room was I like stuff to be nice and clean. She know that. I cleaned out the room. Lauren this room was destroyed. And so I came in the room and I say to Lauren, I cussed out. I said, I'm gonna beat your ass. I said I was cussed. I was. Mm-hmm. I didn't do it. Then I sat back down on my couch and I said, right. But I ain't gonna do that. Mm-hmm. And I said something about I'm gonna take her to. I said I'm gonna take that girl to her grandma's house. And the reason I said that because people trying to take it out of context.
Right.
I'm a transparent person, so I got no problem telling people what it is. Mm. I was married and we got a divorce, and her father and I have joint custody. Mm. So on Sundays, he is supposed to pick her up at 12. Mm. Okay. He hadn't, and one of the things that we do, if we got something to do, sometimes he'll take her to my mom's house or I'll take her. He was supposed to pick her up at 12. It was like 6 o'clock. So that's what I said. I will take her to my mom's house because I know that he would have came and picked her up from there. So that's what I was referring to. They try to turn it and say, oh, well, you trying to kick my daughter out. That don't make no sense. I discipline my child. And I said what I said. I'm not making no apologies for nothing that I said on that video. Because I know, and my daughter knows the type of person that I am. I do not beat my kid. She'll tell you this. Right. I ain't beat the girl in like 3 years. The last time I beat or whooped Lauren, it was like a tap on the arm. That's it, because that's what I do. But right. People try to, when you're a dark skin,
they will get the message. They will get the message. They learn fast.
Exactly. Well, when you're a dark so that's the dark person. Beating her child, and the thing about it is, you never saw my kid on camera. You never heard her. Only heard me fucking. I said, I'm getting up. I only heard me saying, I'm gonna beat you behind. Then I turn around and sit on the couch and say, if I was gonna really beat her, you know what I would have did? I would have got a belt or got something. I started whooping her, and you would have heard her. Right. You didn't hear none of that.
Right.
So the thing is, you try to destroy my on me with false allegations of abuse. I never beat Lauren. I have to reiterate that because of this lie. I'm apologizing to nobody. I discipline my child because I know in my household. And this is an example of this man. So that audio recording that was illegally recorded, he broadcasted to about 40,000 people. That's what he did. And I said it's pure evil. But I learned that this person he's done this to.
Right. That's true. That's true. And like I said, it's it's nothing new. Like, he enjoys it, and he makes money off of it. You see what I'm saying? He makes money off of exploiting his people. You know, this is the same man that don't even consider himself. He don't consider himself African. He said, "Well, I'm not African. I'm just a black man in America." I don't know what that means. So, hey, Courtney. I don't know. Rashida,
okay. I can hear you now. You went out there for a couple of seconds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I want to get into the protest situation, because I thought that was deep. When you went out there and went to the protests, tell the people what you experienced and what's your thoughts about the protest. Because I want to show the video where the girl came out the car. I don't think a lot of people saw that. And I want to show you another video with the white guy while he was out there, one of the Black Lives Matter people. And I'm going to show you what he said. And I want your take on it.
Sure.
So first, tell me, when you went out there, what have you seen, and what's your thoughts? What you've seen? What's your thoughts about?
Right. Well, first of all, I have been protecting Black people before there was social media. I used to be a member of an organization, gave 10 years of my life to an organization that fights for the democratic rights and the rightful treatment of Black people. I spent years protesting instances of police brutality, and discrimination and racism on the ground, grassroots level. So protesting is nothing new to me. And I will be very honest and say that with George Floyd, I don't like the fact that some of our men, they don't want to be with us, but we continuously fight for them. But I got past that, and I said, you know what? I'm going out here because this is a human being, and they murdered this man, and that ain't right. So I went out there, and what I saw, I went to 2 protests. I went to one in St. Petersburg, at the St. Pete Police Department, right in front of the St. Pete Police Department. It was a multi-racial one, but it was mostly ran by non-Black people. They was running it. But then what I will say about those people, because I think that they instinctively realized the right thing to do was to let the Black people take over. I remember I did an interview with 2 of the dark-skinned women there. And one of them, her son was shot by the police, and that poor boy is paralyzed. And she told her story. Dark-skinned woman. I got it. I'm gonna put it on my channel. Another one, continuous harassment. Okay. That's the thing. I don't understand some of these dark-skinned Black people. I've been out here fighting for these people my whole life, and they will turn. I don't get them. I don't understand this.
I know what you mean.
But anyway, that right there really breaks my heart. It really does. I'm not the type of person that's gonna lay down and cry and show you my heart break. I'm an action taker, but I must say that breaks my heart when I get treated like trash by fellow dark-skinned people. So but St. Petersburg, they had the decency enough to say, okay, let me move out the way and let these Black people tell their stories. And the Black stories I heard was moving and touching, and I captured it on video. So the next day we went to Tampa because I was invited to it was supposed to be the Black Panther Party hosting it. Man, when I was so upset and disappointed. They ran the Black Panther Party up out of there. We looked all over that place for the Black Panther Party. They was gone. If I'm lying, I'm flying, and I don't lie. You know, I got it all on film. They ran them. I say, wait a minute. How is you running the people out that started this movement? Here's the thing. There's a book called, I don't know if you ever heard of Pedagogy of the Oppressed. I think Paulo Freire is how you pronounce his name, where he talks about the pedagogy, the psychosis, and the ways and means that the oppressed deal with their oppression, and that the oppressed need to be the ones to free themselves from their oppression. And that's how I see it. Let us handle this. We are not ignorant. We can do this. And they, that broke my heart. And a dark-skinned sister there attacked me verbally and viciously. I said, I'm looking at her like, what? I couldn't even believe what I was experiencing. It was rather shocking. So my whole thing is this. I've seen a lot, but at the end of the day, I'm going to say the same thing I said before. I do want justice for George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor and the countless Black people, including the slaves, including the American Indians that have been viciously murdered. That trumps everything for me. That trumps everything. So I see the bigger picture. Right. So that's what it is with me. That's why I went out there and protested. My son Raheem, shout out to Raheem. I love you to death, because I used to bring Raheem with me, and he saw me out there, doing the community work, and he called me, and he'd been to actually 4. I was so proud, because you standing up and you're fighting. And Tommy Sotomayor trying to paint me as a bad mother. My son, high school graduate, I've never been in trouble with the law. 22 years old. Now that's an accomplishment for a Black man in America. Yeah, sure is. Yeah. But you calling me a bad mother? Explain to me why he never been to juvenile detention center. Explain to me why he never been in trouble with the law. Explain to me why he got his high school diploma and works. Explain that.
But here's Tommy Sotomayor.
I don't know. You gotta explain stuff like that. But that's what I think about the protests.
Right, but Tommy Sotomayor went to jail for not paying child support, so he shouldn't even talk. But I want to show you. I wanted to show you the video. I wanted people to see the video, because when I saw it, I couldn't even believe it. So I'm gonna screen share the video. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Give me 1 second, because I want people to see this. That was crazy. I wonder if this is it. Oh yeah, this has got to be it. And I want people to see this, man, because I couldn't believe. I had to show my boy Brother Bakari this, and he was shocked. Here we go. Let me see if anybody. Let me look at my thing. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit.
Yeah, that's the girl. That's the one. She attacked me viciously.
Actually, yes, we do. Not every white person is the devil. Not every white person is bad. People came out here. There are non-white
How did it stop? Okay. I gotta play this again. Hold on.
That's the girl. That's the dark skinned girl. That was like, she caught me like completely off guard. She did, because I couldn't believe that she would say that.
Yes, we do. Not every white person is the devil. Not every white person is bad. People came out here. There are good white people. There are good white people out there who risk their lives.
But black
who died for us.
people need to run this.
Yep. Yep.
Black people need to run this.
That you are right. We don't need that fight. But if they choose to fight with us, then that is their choice.
I'm sad that my sister is saying this. I'm sad.
Wow.
I'm sad. I'm sad. I'm sad that she's saying this.
How do you know what we can do it? She playing around. Let me tell you.
This is our struggle.
Look, her and I.
This is our struggle.
For 4 days.
Oh my God.
You haven't. We've been marching. Yes.
Wow. Wow. When I saw that, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't even believe it. That's crazy. Let me see. So Rashida.
Yeah, I'm here.
I want to show you one more video, and I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Sure.
It's only 4 minutes. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you this one. My brother Bakari, he's the one who, Brother Bakari, yeah, okay, I'm on your channel, brother. I see you. He interviewed one of the white protesters. And this is what this racist white boy said. Here we go.
Oh boy.
Yep. Here we go. I'm going to play it right now.
What's white people goal coming out here when they say they're protesting? What's white people goal?
Solidarity. Let everybody know we stand with y'all.
You stand with, in what way do you stand with black people?
Just vocally letting y'all know that I'm literally right here with y'all. Make sure, that we have the same goals, and I'm gonna fight y'all's fight.
So let me ask you a question. Any of y'all white people that come out here, are y'all willing to give up those riches and everything that y'all have earned? That y'all have gained from your backs? That's about good as you're gonna get.
I'm gonna do anything and everything I can, but what else can I give you?
I was just wondering why you was here.
Yeah, I'm here.
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
To give a hand, to give a voice.
That's right.
I got you. Give a voice. Now, what if I was to tell you, right? You ever heard of Marcus Garvey? What if I was to tell you I'm a Garveyite, right? And Marcus Garvey believed black folks need to do stuff on their own, and we was like, maybe y'all help from y'all position, but not out here with us. Y'all
Look,
help
if you
from the
want to ask
outside.
me to leave, I'll step away.
I'm asking you a question. We holding the conversation.
Okay.
You're getting a little angry. Don't get angry. We holding the conversation. I'm just asking a simple question.
Yeah.
I'm just asking a simple question. If you want it to end, I'll stop it right now. There's no need to get angry, my man.
I think what he's just asking is because, a lot of times you hear about white people trying to take over black people's movement, and he just wants to.
Which I'm not trying to do at all.
Yeah, but a lot of times,
So that's what I'm asking.
A lot of times, I do think some white people can kind of feed into that white savior complex.
For a fact, that does happen, but I'm not out here to take a picture and say that I'm out here.
No. But what they
No.
say, more black
But
people.
see, we talking, people gonna see this, and me and you holding the conversation. So, like, I'm not angry. I'm saying I asked the question like there's no need for no one to be angry. I was just wondering something I wanted to know.
Okay.
That's it.
Appreciate you.
That's just something. We appreciate you. We appreciate your honesty, and that's the biggest thing. That's the most important thing is honesty. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, people always say look at the conversation. What's happening?
So Rashida, what is your thoughts on that one?
Well, my thoughts on that is the brother is on point, because at the end of the day, it's about economics. The whole reason for the slave trade, yes, the brutality came in it, and someone said that at the end of politics is war. That's very true. I can't remember the person that I like to give people credit, but the thing is, it's about resources. The whole reason for the brutality of the slave trade and the killing of the millions of Indians that were murdered, it's the resources, land. Yes. So the brother is on point. At the end of all of this, where's the money? That's what let me tell you something. There is a concept that I created in my book called systemic economic darkism. And what that term basically means is that dark-skinned people's economy, economics, personal economy and collective economy has been hampered and destroyed due to racism, due to darkism. So at the end of the day, the big picture for me, people don't realize this, but I keep telling them it's about the money. It's about getting money for Black people. Of course, dark-skinned people. It's about where my money at, where my 40 acres and a mule at. That's what this is about. Yeah, it's all about, that's the whole thing. If you don't realize that, you are lost. It's about the money. So he's absolutely the protesting. That's great. But that was my argument with that young lady. I said, my whole premise for saying that, Black people should run the protest because we freeing ourselves from our oppression. If the white people want to be a part of it, give up something. Because I know in the organization I was in, there was white people in there, but the Black people was running it, and they were funding some of the things. So that's one of the ways you can participate. At the end of the day, if we're going to go back to communities, we can't get home loans. We can't get bank loans. We cannot get property. In America, everything is about property, and having access to capital. If we cannot get access to capital, because we're all capitalists because we live in America. Now, me personally, I'm an egalitarian at heart. That's who I am. I believe that the resources intrinsically belong to everyone, but I ain't stupid. I live in America. It's capitalism. I want my money, period. Give me my money. That's what I'm always, and I've been fighting for dark-skinned people to get their money, but they want to fight against me. I'm like, what's wrong with these people? You don't understand that your children, when they grow up, they need to have a nice place to live too. They need to drive around in a nice car. They need to have food to eat. They don't need to be in poverty. I don't like poverty. Quit glamorizing poverty. Poverty is not something that is intrinsic to the dark-skinned people of the world. Africa is probably one of the most resource-rich places on earth, but it has been exploited for the wealth of the European economy. Okay? The Industrial Revolution was spearheaded by the slave trade, the sugar. Look back at all these historical things. Look at that. I want my damn money, period. You give me my money, give me my property. I want my money. That's what it's all about. And every Black person, every dark-skinned person should be on board with that. Why are you fighting against somebody that's trying to get money for you? I ain't never been no hater. I'm not the type of Black person that'll sit back and be like, oh, she got a big house or he got a nice car. I hate her. No, I'll be like, ooh, that's great. That's another Black person out of poverty. Let's keep going. Yeah. I don't understand these people. They want to fight me. This Tommy Sotomayor, I'm still mad about him calling CPS. I'm pissed off about that. That right there gonna take me a long time to get over. I got a grudge now. My daughter, I don't, do you know, I don't open up businesses for her. You hollering about, oh, you abuser, but my daughter is gonna have a hell of a fighting chance when she ain't gonna be poor like me. She ain't poor now. Hell. How I was when I was growing up, getting evicted on food stamps. We used to get evicted. Sheriff done set off stuff outside, not having no place to stay. My daughter ain't never been through that. She don't know nothing about that. Okay, because we are making sure we work hard to make her have a better life. In fact, Lauren, I would classify her. I know some of us use this term as bougie because she kind of is. It just is what it is. She's a privileged, dark-skinned little girl. And I don't make no apology, but I'm the mama and I'm the boss and I runs it. Now, she cannot run and rule me, but she has a different lifestyle than I have. She don't catch the bus to school. I drive her to school. Okay? She's in Kuman. I pay for that out of my pocket. My son went to private school. I'll tell you, my thing is, I want all Black people to be able to do this, not just me. I don't want it to be, ooh, look at me, she's balling. I don't care about that. What I care about is equality for everybody, for my own people. And if you ain't down with economic equality, you are just, I'm not even trying to talk to you. So that's my take on it. I know that's a mouthful.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Because like I said, I always want to hear your thoughts and see your vision. And I want to add on something which you said too, because I thought what you said was very interesting. You know, you got Black people that made slave culture. They make the slave culture part of them. They think part of being they make the poverty part of their culture. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, you know, they doing things. Oh, you don't have to go to school, or you don't talk about Africa. They damn your culture. And that became part of their, what you call their slave culture. And, you know, you and I and Brother Bakari and Courtney, you know, I mean, people that I know, we try and get out of that. We want the best for our people. That, you know, we
exactly.
They took us out of the richest continent of the planet and put us in this bull crap.
Right.
They gave us this. And people don't understand that. We wasn't born to be living in poverty. We didn't put ourselves in poverty. You know, and then it's this, everybody got to vote for Democrat, right? The Democrat, guess who created the Democrat Party? A guy who was a slave owner. What's his name? Thomas Jefferson.
Exactly.
He was a slave owner. Like, why would you? Dr. King was a Republican.
That's
he was
true.
a conservative Republican, well educated. He was for the Black man, Black woman, and child.
Right.
This man was for. He was also fighting for reparations, just like you said. Malcolm X fighting for reparations. Every Black person from Harriet Tubman and you name them all, we was fighting to be what? Free and be independent. We're independent people. And this is what we need. We need economic power, and then that creates political power because we have to control the money.
Right.
That's what we're fighting for.
I agree.
We don't need white people. And just like with that racist, they said, oh, this is how as good as it's going to get. We're just going to be here. While they destroying our shit that we depend on. Even though we don't own it, but we still depend on it. Go ahead.
I think
went out again. Oh, here we go. Okay. Gotcha.
My whole ultimate goal is to get out of this country. I don't want to hear. My ultimate goal has always been in the back of my mind to go to the motherland. Because like you said, we're independent. I'm a naturally independent person. I was born that way. And you cannot control me. Like, if I feel like you trying to control and stifle me, that's going to be a problem. And I'm not talking about reasonable control of myself and doing the right thing. That's not what I'm saying. But there's a lot of control over your life. And it's not a natural thing. And my whole thing is this. I'm tired of being in this prison. I want to go somewhere where I can feel free, because I've never felt like a free human being. I always felt under some type of dictatorship or prisonership, whatever you want to call it. It's never this real sense of human freedom. And I don't think that we understand what it really truly means to be free. Even though we live over here, these people love to talk about the material wealth. Okay, whatever. But for freedom, all your freedom, economic freedom. And, Black folks, if you study our history, we had our own morals and rules and laws. We don't need for other people to tell us what to do. We had our own ways of being.
Yep, you sure did.
I want to go back to that.
Yeah, me too. And it's so funny, Brother Bakari that he's watching now, he said the exact same thing he was talking about. He said, look, once my daughter gets a certain age, he's going to Africa. He said the exact same thing you said. And I always want to, go to Africa and do business and do trades and stuff like that. And I'm definitely working on that. You know what I mean? So, a lot of people, it's so funny that when you talk to every other race of people, right, that even though they never went to their land, because I speak to people from either through Asia or through Europe, and they say, look, I've never been to Italy. But the first thing they say is, I'm Italian. That's the first thing they say, I'm Italian. Even though they never experienced it, even though they never know about the Italian culture or never been Italian. So I'm going to ask you, Rashida, why is it so hard for our people to say that we're African people? Why is it so hard? Why do they use the word black?
Because of psychosis. This again, it goes back to there's a what's the Dr. Joy DeGruy? I think that's her name. I hope I don't get her name wrong. But I believe she talks about the post-traumatic slave.
I met her, by the way. Yes.
She's right.
Yes.
That's what it is. We don't see ourselves. We have been convinced that we all these African American Negroes. It's insane. And so we've been groomed from birth, convinced from birth to disassociate ourselves with Africa. And that is a part of the dysfunction. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't make logical sense. We are a new breed of people over here that is just the product of dysfunction. That's really what it is. It ain't really no other way to say it.
You're absolutely
it's a sad thing, and that's why I respect the Haitians so much with the Haitian Revolution, because they weren't playing. They was like, no, we ain't finna go out like this. We finna make this happen. So that's the thing. It's so strong and it's so thick that we were so focused on, after slavery, we were so focused on getting our rights in this country that we had divorced ourselves from our Africanness. It was all about, it was a new paradigm. It was not let's go back to Africa. Some of us did, but the majority of us stayed over here. It wasn't about that. It was about, we are Americans too, and and I think, and I love my people. I love my people. I respect them so much. But I think that we should have veered more towards going back to Africa. That's why I like Marcus Garvey so much, because he was with the back to Africa. That's what we should have did. And we wouldn't have been, so many times I wished that I was not born in America. I'm not going to tell you no lie. I wish I was born in Africa. I wouldn't be going, I feel like I'm going through hell. I feel like that from the day I was born over here, now that when I grew up and realized what it was, I was like, dang. First of all, born into an impoverished mom, born into poverty, life all messed up, going through, they talk about poverty in Africa. Well, I experienced poverty over here. Explain to me why we was on the streets more times than I could count growing up. That's how we live. Living out of motels, living out of 1-bedroom apartments with 7 and 8 people. That's poverty. So to me, I'm trying, and then growing up, your life is a struggle when you're trying to get out of that. You gotta claw your way up, because you ain't got no privilege to help you. You just gotta sink or swim. People end up, some of them can't take it. Some of them end up on drugs. Some of them end up alcoholics. Some of them end up in crime, to where they're further marginalized and victims of darkism. So I'm trying to understand what's so great. I wish I would have been born in Africa. I got a lot of friends from Africa, and they seem to be better off to me, being that I saw that they're more confident, their work ethic. I just see differences. So I'm trying to understand what's the big damn deal. I don't get it.
So what is your thoughts on June 19th?
Well, right now I'm going to be honest with you. My thoughts change. Because people are becoming because going back to Tommy Sotomayor, this same black person that I'm fighting for, along with other people, y'all calling CPS on me and my dark skin, my black child, trying to get my child taken away from me to end up in the state's hands. I'm not going to, I just associated all of that with that. And I said, nope, I ain't doing it, because I've given too much to my own people. I ain't going to give any more and let people take advantage of me and not support and help me. I'm not going to do that. I see no point. I'm just being honest. I might change, but that's how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah. I'm going to just want to address this real quick, and then we're going to talk about your play. June 19th to me, and I was telling my brother Bakari, it doesn't mean anything to me. Because in the 13th Amendment, they said that they didn't really abolish slavery. It just evolved. They changed it. So now we don't talk about the high incarceration of dark-skinned black men in these prisons, serving these long sentences for petty crimes, and we are the majority of them. We are the majority. So no one talks about that. No one talks about, yeah, they quote unquote free us from chattel slavery, but we didn't get disenfranchisement. We the most we don't get any privileges. So I want to know where's that we free at? Because we're still fighting to be free. We're still fighting for privileges. We're still fighting for this illusion of equality. So what are you celebrating for? Doesn't make any sense to me. So I think that the June 19th is a facade. I think it's an illusion to just make black people happy, just to calm us down. I think it's bull. Because when you talk about the Haitian Revolution, when you talk about the American Revolution, what happened? These are poor whites who wanted to be free from what, Great Britain or whatever the case is. They said they didn't want to pay no taxes or whatever. They want to be independent. And they're independent, white people are independent, and they got all these privileges. So they are experiencing, and they became wealthy. You look at the Haitian Revolution, they fought, and now they're free. They became independent. Now they got privileges too. Where's our privileges? Where's our independence? Why we're still under this white society? So June 19th is bull. It's just bull. So that's my take on it. That's just my take on it. So I want people to hear about your play. Tell them, just tell them about your play. What is based on. Let people know that, where is it located? The tickets, all that, the big shebang.
Okay. You kind of went out.
Oh.
Out there, but I caught the end of what you're saying.
Okay.
About the play.
Right. Yeah. Just tell people about.
Okay. So the play, you can get your ticket.
You're going in and out. You're going in and out. No. You want to go? Yeah. You want to come back? Just come out and come back in. Rashida? Okay. I think she's gonna come back in. Yo, press those likes up, man. This is a great show. I'm just glad my sister got on board to hear her thoughts, and we're trying to bring Courtney. You got to come on my show too. When you gonna come on my show? We gotta get Courtney on board. My girl Courtney, Omega. Yes, Courtney. We gotta get you on. We gotta get you on my show. Get some sisters on here. We could bring back Rashida. We can get Omega Courtney on here. Oh, we are free-ish. Yeah, free-ish. Anything with an IE, anything with an ISH is you trying to be like. That's what I know you ready. We gotta set it up. We gotta set up. I like to do things right. You know what I'm saying? But we could definitely set a date. When you free and stuff. So I definitely gotta have you on my show because it's been a minute. It's really been a minute. We're gonna get Rashida back on here. We definitely gonna get Rashida back on here because she's well needed. She's well needed. We need your energy as too, sister. So I get my brothers on there. We can have is because we gotta build. We gotta build the black man, black woman. We gotta build. You know, we can't be separated. There's no. I'm not going to promote any type of beef between the black man, black woman. That's not going to be on my show. I'm not having that. I'm not having that. People going to have that on their show. That's them. We gotta build. We're not perfect, but there's the time to come together as one, and we got to do things right. We got to do things right. Okay, next month. All right, cool. All right, do bet. So we'll do that on. We want to do that on your birthday, or your okay on your birthday. We could do it on your birthday. Oh, okay. Go my sister. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you very clear now, definitely.
Okay, good. We're back in again. I don't
So
know.
yeah,
Sometimes I don't have a good strong signal.
that's fine. That's cool. Yo, I mean, you got fans. They loving you. They loving the show. My girl Omega Courtney, she's definitely she wants to build with you. You know what I'm saying? Brother Bakari wants to build. So,
of course.
Thank you. I'm gonna have it where you're gonna because I would love to have you back. I have my sister because
of course
Omega wants to build with you. So we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep the healing. We're gonna heal the black man, black woman.
absolutely.
So I'm for it. I'm
I'll
definitely
be more than happy to do that. Yeah.
So tell the people about your show, what it's about, how to get the tickets, where it's located, you know, the big shebang.
Yeah, of course. So the play that I'm doing is called A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, and it's actually a one-woman play. And that just means I'm playing like multiple characters, and I'm not doing that because I want to. I'm doing it because I don't like to just sit back and wait on people to get the funding to hire other actors to play the parts. So I said, you know what? I don't have the funding to hire other people, which that was the original idea. I never intended to play all these characters, but I'm blessed with the ability to be able to do so. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to put this show on, and that's what I've been doing. So it tells the life experiences of dark-skinned women from different socioeconomic backgrounds, and they all are victims of darkism, and they get revenge. And I'm not going to tell y'all, of course, what the revenge is. Right. And so the play keeps evolving because I'm the type of writer I like to add what's going on in my current life. I will just do improv or on stage, or I might write it in there and just go with it. That's what I do. So I'm playing all these 5 different characters, and you know, you got the self-hating dark-skinned woman. I don't want to give away too much. Yeah. You got a pastor that's loosely based on my mom, because my mom we was raised in a Pentecostal church, so a lot of the for a particular and it be a dark-skinned woman. I'm a very observant person, and I've spent years observing people, the dark people, the black people, and dark-skinned people, particularly in my community. Fascinated with, in particular, people that end up on the wrong side, like they might end up in homeless, or they might have a mental illness. Because I was around that, and my mom, when we was growing up, she had some crazy friends, and I used to just look at them like trying to figure out what is going on here. I would never say anything because growing up, you stayed in a child's place and you didn't do all that talking. Mama went with all that. So I would sit back and absorb, and I remember these people, and I just wrote about them, and I'm them. I understand them, and I could portray them in a, bring them to life as in a real way that's authentic and not fake, because I don't like fake stuff. So if you looking for a show that's watered down and make you feel good, this ain't the show for you. This is raw, real. If you like the raw, if you like the real, this is the show for you. So I'm going to be performing on June 26th at 7:30.
June 26th.
That people should know. Yes, that's a Friday.
Okay.
June 26th. And I start on time, so I'm prompt 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to be performing. You can watch it online through a pay-per-view live stream,
Okay.
which is $44.99 for the pay-per-view live stream. Or if you are in Atlanta, you can come out to the venue. Tommy Sotomayor cannot come in there. He's the only person I will not allow. I'm just going to be honest. But if I find out that some of his trolls, you're gonna get escorted out the building. We're not gonna put up with that. But otherwise, welcome. So I'm gonna be in Atlanta. You come out to the venue. It's called the White Label, and the address is 349 Decatur Street, Southeast, Unit M. Now I know I said that fast, but all that information is right on my website, which is darkskinactivist.com. Once again, that's darkskinactivist.com, and it's spelled exactly how it sounds.
So is this place based on, or related to your life to some degree, or?
Well, yeah, because there's elements of my life, and then there's elements of people that have been around me. Like I said, when I was growing up, I saw a lot of things. And so I looked at some of this stuff. And as an artist and a writer, you usually will write from what you know. That's what most artists and writers, they take from what they know. So I just put my own interpretation on what I saw around me growing up. And like I said, my mom, I have a character in there that's a church lady, and that character is loosely based on my mom and her mannerisms in the church and how she would speak in tongues. And I remember they would see this dark-skinned, tall lady with all these kids coming in there, and she had on, her wig, and people would say, there go that lady with all them kids, and some people would laugh at her, and I remember seeing all of that. So I was like, why was they laughing at her? But then I started observing the antics of my own mom, and I decided to write about it. So yes, it is very loosely based on my own life in a lot of ways, but not in every way, but in some ways.
That's good. And I think with stuff like that can, and I know you probably got a lot of reactions and say, wow, damn, that I can relate to that. How was the reactions that you got? I can imagine the reactions after you play, is like, people was like, damn, that reminds me of what I went through. Have you ever gotten those type of reactions?
Oh, I get it. I get that all the time. I've been doing this play for since 2006. Wow. I get it all the time. That's the reason why I do the Darkism talk afterwards, because after I do the show, I'll sit down and I'll give people a chance to talk back to me. And I've heard it all. I've heard everything imaginable in terms of the relatability of these characters. So yeah, it's a lot. I've gotten really good reviews. Another thing I like to do is I pass out white cards and I tell people, don't put your name on this. Do this anonymously and say whatever you want to say about this show. And so over the years, I've collected so much feedback to I think I got a pretty good understanding of how the people feel about it, which is why I keep doing it. I mean, it's still a small off-Broadway production, but the feedback directly from the people, which is what I care about the most. The critics, the professional critics, they okay, but it's nothing beats the people that see it. To me, their opinion is most important. So I've gotten a lot of that over the years, and the feedback is just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. I mean, I had one lady, she told me I was at the Atlanta Black Theater Festival and everything kind of went bad because the stuff wasn't working. So I had to switch up the show at a moment's notice, but we pulled it off. And there was this one lady in the crowd. I came out and took a bow, and she said, "Where are the other people?" And I looked at her like, "What?" I just kind of looked at her and I said, "Oh, there's nobody else." And she thought I was lying. I said, "There's only me." And she was like, "Well, what happened?" I said, "Oh, wow. I was dressing up as those characters."
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it.
I've seen how you portray different people. It's amazing. It's really you do a really good job of doing that. It's definitely amazing how you you portray different characters and stuff like that. It's hot. I like that. So
Thank you. But you know, it's a lot of work, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't intend to keep doing all 5 of the characters. My goal is to hire other actresses to give them work. That's what that was my original goal, because it's a lot of work to do 5 people. It's a physical thing. It's a lot of physicality in acting. People don't realize that, but I prepare for it like I'm like a boxer would prepare for a fight. I do the same thing. I run about 5 miles a day.
I see that,
yeah, lifting, all that, because I'm preparing to perform, and I like to have a lot of energy, and that's just how I do it. So I don't intend to keep doing this. I would just keep one of the characters that I want to portray. That's my baby. But the rest of them, I want to hire other actors eventually to play.
I think what you're doing is beautiful, because it's like you said, it's yours. You own it, you run it, and I know that when it's becoming your audience is growing, and I definitely noticed that when sooner or later you're gonna start giving your own people jobs, and it's a business, and that's what I like about that. I like about it when they hear it, because and I like to promote, and I know my brother Bakari, he like to promote businesses, Black-owned businesses, because it's a business. And
that's the thing. That's what I keep telling people. They think that I'm just sitting back collecting all this money.
No.
But for example, the venue is a Black-owned. I self-produce, so I have to pay for the venue. It's a Black-owned venue. That's where that money went.
Yeah.
The people that I'm working with, my stage manager, Black. The person that helps me promote, Black. So it's Black-owned. It's money going back into the hands of Black people.
Right.
So there you have it.
And it's circulating. That's how it's supposed to. You keep the money circulating within our home.
Yeah. So I advertise with Black businesses. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Black PR. You do the press release. That's going back into the hands of Black people. It's always been like this.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So definitely, I mean, Sister Rashida, I'm just so glad that you came on my show. It's an honor.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I always wanted to talk to you, but I know last time it was things, but I'm glad the people loved you. If you go back and watch it, you see the great comments and stuff. So
thank you.
I know you got definitely. I want to thank the chat. I want to thank Brother Bakari, Sister Omega Courtney. I want to thank you. Who else I want to thank? And thanks to people who's watching. Thank the people who's watching. So I know you got things to do. But we definitely got to do this again. Courtney said she wants to do this again on her birthday next month, but she want to be on the show. So her birthday's next month. She said she wants to be on my panel. I would love for you to be on there. She wants you on there.
Okay, you're trying to make that happen.
Yeah, we're gonna make it happen. Oh, we're gonna make it happen.
Okay.
So we're gonna close out. Sister Rashida, you want to say your last words before we close out?
Sure. I want to thank you very, very much for inviting me on, and I want to thank everybody very, very much for taking the time to watch, and check out the show, darkskinactivist.com, and thank y'all.
Please support. So Rashida, thanks again. Thanks to the people. Thanks to the chat, and I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
Okay. Y'all have a good evening. Bye-bye.